Hello, I know it's been a while since I've last done anything model railroad related. Here we have a roster update, and I am quite excited because, as you can see here, I got a pretty decent sized haul of trains over the past year, so let's dig in. So the way we're going to go through with this roster update is we're going to go in order of basically the order of, when I've got, everything, because, honestly, like, that's just the way I roll, that's what's easiest for me. So, starting here, we have a Fox Valley Models, Milwaukee Road, Hiawatha, baggage car. Let's see, I'm not sure if it's a baggage car or a mail car. I think it's a baggage car. So this is my very first Fox Valley model, and it's actually a really nice model, and performs very nicely, and the detail on it is pretty sweet as well. And apparently something about this that I did not know until I purchased this was that this is a limited edition. So that was actually, it's actually pretty cool, but yeah, really like this. Been expanding my excursion fleet a little bit, so yeah. So that's that. On to the next thing. Okay, so on to the next thing. Obviously, this isn't a train. This is a bus. This is a Iconic Replicas CTA New Flyer, a 100% electrically operated bus. This is a really nice model overall. Few things like I have to say, like, my biggest complaint with it is the in some areas the way the decals were applied. Not good at all, and especially considering the price of this thing too, because I mean this was $40 off of Amazon, so yeah. But otherwise, it's actually a pretty nice bus. This is actually a limited edition, so it's a good thing I got it when I did. And I'm a and also too, considering that I'm a Chicago modeler, it's like, it's only appropriate to have CTA. So yeah, so that's that. On to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing we have here, this is probably one of my favorite additions to the fleet. It's none other than a Athearn Genesis Union Pacific ST70AH with LED headlights and Tsunami 2. So this model still has all the really nice detail that your typical Athearn Genesis model would get. In fact, it might even be a little bit better. I mean, it's always been absolutely splendid, but yeah, it might even be a little more than there used to be. One thing I know is up to date is that this unit has a PTC antenna. Of course, that's how that's prototypical to the engines up to date. This in real life. So yeah, this really nice model. Athearn, they really stepped up their game, just with the LEDs, because I'm sure many of us have experienced, I know I've experienced, the real headache with the incandescent bulbs, which blew out real easily, and make things worse. The warranty didn't even cover the light bulb. So yeah, that's a real big step up that Athearn did, switching over to LEDs. So kudos to Athearn for doing that. But yeah, like that alone is a big improvement. And the Tsunami 2, Tsunami 2 is amazing. Now, my opinions on Soundtrack Tsunami, like, overall, like I've always thought they were just okay. I mean, the sound card was actually pretty sweet. I mean, wish it had more sound options, but the sound card was pretty sweet. But I'm talking like overall, like in general, Tsunami decoders or the sounds on them, I thought they were just okay. But now that I've discovered Tsunami 2, I cannot get enough of it. In fact, like I'm sure many of you out there know that I really like ESU lock sound decoders. Honestly, like my opinion of the Tsunami 2, I think is pretty much right up there with ESU lock sound. So it's also a very big step up on Soundtrax's behalf for improving the sound files, because it's not just the quality of the sounds, but you also get a ton more sounds too. Like I think the original Tsunami decoders, it was like only one bell option. I think like only 3, 4, 5 different horns to choose from. Whereas Tsunami 2, you get at least about I think like 20 something bells and like about 40 different horns to choose from. So that's incredible right there. So yeah, and I was actually playing around with some of the different horn sounds and even bell sounds. See, sound absolutely amazing. So here's your K5LLA, which is authentic to the SD70 ACEs. And AHs too, of course. They're same engine. The only difference in real life is that the SD70 AH has a lot more weight compacted into it than the SD70 ACE for better traction purposes. But yeah, I can go on about this engine forever. It's amazing. In fact, hopefully, if I ever get around to it, which hopefully I will, but no guarantees, I'd like to do a review on this engine. But you know how that's been going these past several years. I mean, like I say, I want to do a review on something, but I end up not getting around to it. So hopefully, maybe I'll have the time to do it. So yeah, let's actually move on to the next model. Okay, so on to the next thing. As you can see here, I got another Kato Metra F40PH. The one I have had is number 137, City of West Chicago. This one here is number 160, the Village of Winfield. So this I actually, everything else except for the bus I got at Lombard Hobbies. The bus, the CTA bus I got on Amazon. And this here, as well as the next couple of things I'm going to show you, I actually got at a train show. The Michigan City, Indiana train show to be specific. So yeah, I now have another addition to my Metra fleet. Still planning to a lot more plan to get still. So Kato, they actually produced 3 numbers of Metra Blue F40s and HO. Number 137, which I have. Need to get that up and running again. Number 160, which is right here, and then the other one, which I hope to get one day, number 163. They also have the RTA F40PHs, number I think 135 and 157. Would be nice to get those eventually, but probably not right away because they're not my era of modeling. But I do plan to get the other F59 PHRs when they come out, which hopefully is soon. I know it's they were delayed at least 5-6 months, something like that. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to this. But so I don't know if you see, but as for this one, you can probably see that I've done a little bit of detail work to it. Well, yeah, I applied all the detail parts that came with it. This was actually brand new out of the box when I got it, so that was actually pretty cool. And then you can probably see I painted some of the details that weren't factory painted, such as like the fuel tank gauges, the air hose and MU cable plugs or whatever those are, And then I also painted the beacon base on this silver, which yeah, I think I kind of need to go in there, clean it up a little, but overall I think it came out pretty nicely. So yeah, eventually this one, as well as number 137, when I refurbish its insides, I want to, what I eventually want to do is replace the current circuit board with a Soundtrack's 21-pin motherboard and put a Tsunami 2 in both this one and 137. 137, when I do get around to it, I think 137 is probably going to be first because that one is not in operating condition. This one is in operating condition, only on DC though, so yeah, so hopefully sooner than later I can do that project. So yeah, now on to the next thing. Okay, so this next thing I got here, I also got this at the Michigan City Train Show. Mint in the box is a Blueford Shops Chicago Short Line, South Chicago and Indiana Harbor transfer caboose. This too is also pretty sweet. I actually, I've been wanting to get my hands on, well, eventually both, but at least one Chicago Short Line SW 1500, but they seem impossible to get your hands on, And so the reason I want some Chicago Short Line in my fleet is, I think it's only appropriate 2 reasons. One of them, I'm a Southside modeler for one thing, and for another, I'm a, the fact that I'm also a Southside native myself. The Southeast side's where I grew up in. I actually saw the Short Line operating on a pretty regular basis over on the east side there. So yeah, and plus the Chicago Short Line I think is really cool too. So yeah, so that's that. On to the next thing. Alright, so a few other things I got also at the Michigan City Train Show, where I got 5 intermodal containers. I got NYK Logistics, Hanjin, K-Line, Hyundai, and a Sealand Penguin reefer. Yeah, pretty nice, as you could obviously tell. And one thing I actually concluded a long time ago, whenever I obtain intermodal containers, and this is a piece of advice I'm going to pass on to you. Don't buy them retail. Buy them at train shows, because they retail for ridiculous prices. And like the place to get them, you want to go to train shows, because you can get train shows, like you get excellent crazy deals on excellent deals on stuff. So and I think on average, like one container retails for about $10 a piece or so. I don't know, but all I know is that they're pretty ridiculous, And so you can see I got 5 containers here. I got all 5 of these for $15. So that was pretty nice right there. So yeah, my my word of advice to you: if you're gonna buy containers, get them at train shows. Not don't buy them for retail. So yeah, that's that. On to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing we have here is a gift from one of my relatives. This is another Kato HO scale Metra Pullman gallery bi-level car. So yeah, just like the first release of the Pullman gallery cars, Metra. It's exactly the same, same elegant design. It's this one is number 7780. So it's two great models, and I'm excited too, because expanding my Metra fleet. So yeah, on to the next thing now. Okay, so another thing I got, this is also a Christmas gift from another one of my relatives. This is a Walther's Train Line Rio Grande firefighting water car. This is actually this is a really cool model. It's really neat. I actually Googled this car to see if it actually exists. I don't think it does, but it's still a really neat car. Yeah, something, it's really cool to have. So that's that. On to the next thing. So now on to the next thing. This is something that I actually unwrapped from under the tree on Christmas morning. None other than a Rapido Amtrak NPCU. So this is something I've actually been wanting for a while. This is my very first Rapido model. And so far, I'm actually satisfied with, really satisfied with it. I haven't really had much of a chance to run it much. I mean, I did give it like a, test run, but I haven't really had much of a chance to play around with it much because it's only DC. They only had, all they had available was DC, and even if I wanted DCC and sound, couldn't afford it. So. Or at least right now, couldn't afford it, but yeah. So eventually, I do want to put an ESU lock sound decoder in it. So I actually looked all over ESU's site for the sound file for the NPCU, but apparently it's only ESU doesn't. Offer it, it's only through Rapido, and I actually sent them an email over at Rapido, and they got back to me like maybe a month later, 3 weeks later, so like in fact just last week as a matter of fact, and apparently they have decoders, sound decoders listed on the website, so. The one that got back to me sent me the link, but there was nothing there for the NPCU. So that I have to figure out. I think I'm probably gonna call them, by phone one of these days. But that's a little something I need to figure out because. I would really love to have sound in this thing. And, but, otherwise, I can't complain. This is, very, very nice. Like I said, my very first Rapido, product, so, yeah, but I love the detail on this thing, and, it seems to perform, very well as well. And so when they, and when they come out, I actually want to get, a good set of the Horizon cars, and then also, when Bachmann releases them, get a couple of the SC44 Chargers. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, it'll be sooner than later. So, yep, on to the next thing now.